Blue, green lights on, and Aki, welcome to interpreting the introduction of visual interpretation. Studio audience, humanoids. Let's talk. We've got this event in 3 weeks, and let's talk about just how Aki. You grew up in Tokyo. What's your first memory of growing up with specific media? Was it a television?
Yeah, television.
It was a television.
Yeah, I guess so.
You do. Listen up, gang. Was it? Did you have video games when you were young?
Yeah, I had.
What's your earliest memory of seeing a glowing box and a screen, and
Like-
what was it?
Oh, actually TV, but my brother had a family computer, like original version. I mean, like the first one.
A first PC,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A Mac?
No.
A PC? No, Sony. What do you do when you were a child? What do you remember doing with this, and how did it? Because this is a vast difference from generation to generation. You know, we had like the wheel. My generation, we used the wheel a lot, and now you guys got screens and computers and gigahertz and all of that stuff. What's your earliest memory of maybe a parent taking away the media and saying, "Oh, you've been playing with it too much"?
No.
Did they ever say that?
Yeah.
They
When I was
did?
kids, yeah.
Why and how? Why did they say it?
Because they said like your eye gonna be so bad, and then you have to wear the glasses. That's why you shouldn't watch TV.
Because it's this close to your face,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
How old were you? 2, 3,
No, I was 5, 6.
5 or 6?
I guess.
And I would say everyone else, it's like you remember that 5, 6 years old. Do your parents ever say, "Hey, stop that"? And give you one of these, right? Just kidding. Parents don't do that. How many did your parents ever use media as a babysitter at all?
No.
Never. Because they say, "Oh, go." They never say, "Go play on the street" or "Go
Also
with."
because of their generation.
Because
So-
they didn't watch TV, or they did.
No, they did, but like when they become adults or like high school student, they start to watch the TV. So they say like when people are young, people should like play outside, not inside.
Right.
So
Because
they say,
you're.
like, you have to go to park and to meet with a friend. Don't do the video game.
You have to socialize, and when you had dinner, did you sit down with your family and talk to them?
Yeah. So in the room, we didn't have TV because
My parents did that too. It's
Yeah.
like no television at all in the dining. How many parents did that? No TV in the dining room, categorically. So how many did have a TV in the dining room? And you turned on the TV during eating.
We had it like in the kitchen, yeah, and every like during meals we just watched television.
That was like forbidden in my house.
Mine, they did it for 2 weeks, I remember, and then they said, "Nah, get rid of it." So we had to force to interact with each other. Ian, how did that change okay, the two of you, how did that change, what did you think you were missing when you went to school? So, "Oh, my parents wet squares, man. They won't let me, like, watch TV during eating."
I don't know. I guess I appreciate it now. I get it. They weren't really too bad. They were pretty liberal parents, but yeah, TV was always time to catch up on the games because I guess I never really spoke to them at any other point.
Did you ever I was going to ask you, did you lip off to dad or mom and say, "But mom and dad, I know everything about you, so now I'm bored with all of this." Did you ever cop an attitude that way or not?
I probably did whinge about it a little bit, but I mean, I was definitely in the wrong in hindsight. I think.
It's important, right, Aki, to just...
Yeah,
What?
I guess so.
You guess so? How would you know now that your people skills work?
No, but like actually, like when I was kids, I really want to see the TV when I was like, cause so many my friends was watching TV when they were eating dinner or when they were eating lunch, but my parents did not accept that kind of
Your
thing.
parents didn't do
Yeah,
it.
so like I really envy the kind of people who can watch the TV, but like except TV, like my family really talk about the school life and then what we did in the school or something.
And
like that.
react with
Yeah.
you and for you. Patricia, did you ever have a reaction to media at all when you were young? It's like, oh, this stuff is just crap. It's making me feel like a couch potato. I want to get out and hear the birds and feel the rain. And
In my family, like, it wasn't like such a big thing because, like, I live in a farm, so we were always outside.
oh, you're always physical
so, like,
outside.
The only time we ever played is if we came in at night time, we watched a bit of TV or stuff like that. But my parents never really, like, banned it because we never really did it anyway, sort of thing. It was like it was sort of, we never really went, like, played much on the PlayStation and all that. We had it, but we never really.
Well, how many of you did? I mean, you can say it to me. You did use media as a. If I know, I usually have a few people who are latchkey kids, and your parents wanted to know that you're safe and said, go home and watch TV and just stay inside, right? And don't go play. How many did that? Jessica?
No.
No?
My mother would not. She'd freak out and home alone.
Your mom would freak out.
Yeah.
You were never alone.
My parents still don't leave the house.
They don't leave the house. Jessica? Never alone. So growing up, even you guys who grew up in the big city, well, Tokyo's a fairly safe city, right?
Yeah.
But did your parents ever say, okay, go play in Ueno Park but be safe and
be
come
safe.
home at a certain
like
time?
until like 5 p.m. or like 4 p.m. when I was kids.
Till 5 p.m. you could play with your friends?
I have to go back to my home.
Well, this is interesting to me. Chris, how old were you when you could like cross the street yourself or go to I mean, think back. It was last week, Professor.
Probably like 8, 9, I guess.
8 or 9. What was the big perception shift in your parents?
Because across the street, I thought you meant live at home, like say home.
Well, I see these kids in New York, these kids 8, 9 catching the subway, and I'm a little like gulp. Have you seen it? I'm like with their little school bag, and you can tell there's no one around watching them. They're on their way to school, right? And what is that, Christine? What is that cutoff era? What is?
I don't know. I feel like this like new generation, they're like becoming more independent. Like I've seen little kids like trying to catch the train by themselves and everything. I feel like when I was younger, I had my parents always with me. They like wouldn't let me go anywhere by myself until I got like older. So I don't know.
20, 18. Just kidding. But really, like you remember, Jessica, you remember that year they said, okay, just call in. How many, okay, we're talking about media and growing up. How many of you had a cell phone when you were young?
Oh, I did when I was 10, but only because I always got in trouble.
Because you always got in trouble?
I would never come home on time, so my mom gave me a cell phone.
And so check in every hour on the hour?
Yeah.
Did you do that? You said, but Mom, I'm racking up the bill. And she said, I don't care.
Yeah. So I was the first person to have like a cell phone, like all my friends, but I didn't use it to like call people. It was for my mom. But now like every 10-year-old has a cell phone.
Does that make a change, Rudy? That the cell phone is like the surrogate parent?
I guess so. I think more parents are working now, so the only way they can check up on their kids is that if they have a cell phone, so they can keep in contact with them.
So Matt, did these media, like the cell phone being the surrogate parent? What I mean, if you're like in a corner with some murderer, what are you going to do? Throw a cell phone at him or something? I mean, but your parents feel safe because they've given you this leash, right? This cell phone. Did you ever get a cell phone as a kid?
Not until I was older.
And then by that time you're using for whatever. When did you feel, guys, that you were actually with the media, cell phone, computer, TV, whatever? You felt like Renee. You felt like you could walk on the streets yourself.
I didn't get a cell phone until I was like 15. I was like a freshman in high school, and I think what added to that too was that's when kind of like Facebook and MySpace kind of started up for me. I'm like younger, but I guess had like 16-year-old own page, and your parents couldn't really like stop you and like watch you. Like I never had MySpace, but
were the parents really upset about MySpace when it came
out?
out?
It was a small community, so they were like it was like, a big deal that kids were like talking. Some parents like made profiles and they became friends. It was a weird situation, but
and they tried to entrap
like,
people
call
by
their parents and be like, oh.
posing as disreputable types and say, you checked into my drug dealer site and that was really your mom, right?
I think that's kind of when it started, like the virtual freedoms.
Well, that's an incredible thing. Did you have something like a Facebook or MySpace in Japan?
Yeah, we have, but sometimes.
Oh, coming up. We're 10. Aki, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be soon.